What up, Twitch? It's your boy PU to ASU. I'm here with you on a Monday night. To do what? Dungeons and Dragons. I know that's surprising. You have not seen me do Dungeons and Dragons for a very, very long time. And here we are. So I know you got a lot of questions. We're not really going to go over where I've been this whole time. But suffice it to say, we are back to do some Dungeons and Dragons. Specifically some Frog and Toad. And we're gearing up for the finale tonight. It's a big deal. Finale. So, I have the Poo2 crew here. And I'm going to unmic them. How's it, or unmute them. How's it going, Poo2 crew? There we go. Got Alex and PS Zombie. Risky Biscuit is here too. He's getting logged in and signed on here, so we'll be hearing from him in a second. I'm going to pop up their cameras as well. Here you can see Loxodana is right. Thank you, Alex, for that. And we have Alex and PS Zombie there on the camera. So, fellas, I just want to share one little tidbit which I've found very, very sad, which is that Twitch, there are no videos of us playing Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch. It has been so long. It's been so long that they've archived them all. Our highlights are still there and our special like clip videos, but all of like the Frog and Toads and the Unbeatens have kind of been archived. So if you want to find those, PSA, you got to go to our YouTube channel page and check that out. So there is some footage on our Twitch page, but it's just really bad gameplay of me playing Fortnite. So it's not as fun as our Dungeons and Dragons game. But whoa! Risky Biscuit's here too! I see him there. I can't hear you on the server, but I see you. That's exciting. I haven't seen Risky Biscuit in a while. It may be coming through OBS Ninja. But I don't see him coming through there. Anyway, I will. Anyway, so I have special guests in the studio with me. I have Mr. Frog and Mr. Toad up here. Courtesies of PS Zombie for the donation for this finale stream. So they're up here bobbing along on the gaming chair with me for tonight's episode. We are going to try to get through a lot of ground here with the crew because we had to start a little late just because we have lives. Sorry, don't at us. But we're going to get started here and try to cover this final battle and do a quick recap. The only announcements I will say is it's a new month, so we appreciate any subscribes. I want to publicly thank Alex for his subscription he just did a minute ago. And we'll get rolling here in a second. Risky Biscuit, make sure to level up your character to level 5. So, my name's Jeff is right. Thank you, Alex, for that sound alert. Let's see. To recap Frog and Toad, Frog and Toad is a short session campaign that I ran using the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons rules. And it was an original campaign designed by DM Dave that I flavored. Check out DM Dave, by the way. He's a good resource for all you people that like Dungeons and Dragons. And anyway, I took his work, flavored it to fit into Arnold LaBelle's classic kids storyline, Frog and Toad. So, in this campaign, we have a party of animal-like folk. We have, I'll let them introduce themselves in a minute. And they have been tasked with finding Frog. Frog is missing. They were at the local watering hole when Toad came out of nowhere, very worried that he couldn't find Frog. He was also upset that Frog married some lady he didn't know. And he has a wife now, and Toad was distraught. So Toad recruited all of you to go look for Frog. He went across the swamp got into a nasty sparring match with some nasty mosquitoes, and made your way into a temple. This temple is a ancient ruined temple of where a frog race called Bullywogs used to worship their frog lord. You guys went into the temple, and pretty shortly after entering, you got into a tangle with some zombies and barely made it out of that scrap. And then you went into the next room and got into a scrap with a giant anaconda and a giant toad, and you barely made it out of that one. And literally, Loxodano almost was eaten by the giant snake, but she escaped with her life, and the crew was able to stumble upon the room and the chamber where they are now. We left off with the crew entering a room to find Frog in front of them. And then they also seem to have found an elder worshiper in kind of traditional elder garb that was excited that they were joining the worship ceremony. It wasn't a good thing to be there. So, that is where we are now. Risky Biscuit, were you able to figure out audio?
Can you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you great. So since you chimed in first, tell us what you're playing, Risky, and how you been this time. Also, public shout out for there's a new household member in his house, so public shout out for Risky Biscuit. Burp, 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 burp.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Busy. So, give me. I'm playing Cadence Foghorn, who is a gnome. Sorry, you're gonna have to give me just a second to trying to scramble to get everything together. I'm trying to race to get on here.
Well, and also you have to remember.
I'm a bard.
Yeah.
I do know that I was a bard, which I cannot bust out the magical harmonica tonight because I will wake the new house member who is sleeping 10 feet from me. So the battle song, cry song that I will be playing will be my voice serenades instead. So I will bless you guys with that.
Awesome.
I think that's pretty much the gist of my character.
Sweet. I need to hop up to cut something off, but in the meantime, Alex, what are you playing? Yeah, so I am a level 5 barbarian, Tap of the Berserker. For those of you that don't remember, my character's name is Lollyhops. Now, that's, I know, pretty meta. So Lollypops is a candy. Hops is what a frog does. And so what I've done is actually skillfully combined those two. So I wasn't going to really talk about that until the end. So,
The big reveal.
the big reveal. So yeah, that is Lollyhops.
Hello. I am playing as Loxodana. She is a young elephant girl, sorcerer, and she's kind of treating this almost like a school field trip. She maybe doesn't grasp the weight of almost dying several times. But yeah, it's all just a fun adventure for her. She's like an elephant Nancy Drew almost, out there investigating things. I've heard that comparison so many times. I don't think I can even.
I hear no.
That's good for me.
No music.
I can hear like very soft music.
Maybe I have the chat muted or something. Not here now. No, it's not too loud.
Good. I didn't realize I had myself muted, guys. I Twitch. Was just bragging about my Father's Day shirts, which you saw on the stream. So I didn't realize I was muting myself. I just told the group though to roll initiative, and I queued up some fun music. Lollyhops chiming in at a 19. I need to roll my bad boys initiative too.
Oh, are we rolling initiative?
We are rolling initiative.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you're okay. Let's see.
Hey, that's pretty good for a -1. I'm a slow girl.
Could have had a 0 like me, pulled that 19.
Let me touch my character first.
Well, look at us.
Oh, oops, my bad. I hit it twice.
You can edit it.
I'll allow it.
Get-
I'll allow it.
That's what I get for double clicking.
Alright, you guys know this frog creature, elder dude, to be a white, W-I-G-H-T. For all you D&D fans out there that know what that is. I found an interesting sidebar that there was a very cool name for an arch lich that's in the new season of Stranger Things. I forgot the term of it, but I was reading it. It's very cool.
Is that what Beck had?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, the missus was talking to me about that, and then the team was like, Stranger Things is not about Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, excuse me, the first episode, they play the game. I don't want to hear it. So that's my rant, my 2 seconds rant while I'm getting initiative set up. All right, let's get into descending. There we go. Okay, so Lollyhops, you would be up first, but before you take your turn,
What?
you hear distant buzzing that gets louder and louder, and different symphonies of buzzing. You detect bees, you detect wasps, you detect cicadas, you detect mosquitoes, you detect gnats, you detect all these kind of symphony of buzzings get louder and louder, and they seem to be approaching the door that you just came through. Now the door's shut behind all of you all, but you hear from that area right behind you in this closed chamber. It looks like it would be Lollyhops would be to the rear, so he hears it the loudest the first, and everybody else is kind of crammed in there in that hallway. That buzzing gets louder and louder till it's almost deafening, and then you start to hear banging on the door, sounding like a wide variety of different insects just trying to get into the door. When you hear that happen, you also see the lock of the door. You all turn around to notice that the door is being opened and shimmied open by a being seemingly with hands. And out pops, I don't have a token for him, but out pops Toad. And he, I'll put him front and center here. You see Toad in front of you with a very raggedy appearance. He's got lots of rips in his clothing. So many bug bites, like so many of which are oozing, many of which look infected. He has not had a good time. He lost the game. So you see this Toad appear before you, frantic and very beaten up, swatting furiously. And as he's swatting furiously, these insects are starting to come into the room that you're in. And he says, Oh, get off! Oh, so many bugs! Why did I go that way? Oh, so many bugs! And you notice as he's swatting, he has one hand holding an item. And it looks like to be some sort of jade statue. And he kind of slings it to you across the floor. Now, I'm going to roll a d4, and I'm going to see where it lands. So, there's the three of you plus Frog that are right there by the door. And so if it's a 1 on a d4, it goes to Frog. I'm going to say if it's a 4, it goes Lollihops, 3 Loxodona, 2 Cadence. Oh, it goes to Frog. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so it lands right in front of Frog. It's not Frog's turn, so he's just kind of looking at it, but it's a nice looking jade statue in front of him. And then Frog also reaches, once he throws that jade statue, he reaches in his pocket and pulls out what looks like a shattered ball of smoky quartz. And he chucks that, and it lands and almost in a magical explosion pops off 3 different shards that go in each of your direction. That shard goes straight to you and then almost explodes into a powder that then fills you up through your nose and your nostrils and your mouth. And at first you're very shocked by this. It's like, oh no, I'm inhaling something. This is dangerous probably for me. But then you're soothed and you feel invigorated. You feel the benefits of it is drugs. It's magical cocaine. And you feel you can get a lot of stuff done. I'm just kidding. You get the benefits of a full rest. So if you aren't already, get your HP back up to full. Any spells can also be reinstated. So make sure that all your spell slots are full. And then you level up. So I asked the gamers Twitch, the players of the party, to go ahead and level up at the start of this session, and this is why. This gives you the benefit of a level up. So whatever it was, it gave you like a magical boost, as it were. Okay. And that jade statue is front and Frog. And Toad is frantically trying to swat off the bugs, and there's so many different kind of bugs. It's hard to see. Like, you can't, even though the door is open, you cannot see into the next room because the swarm is just taken over that next room, and it is so cloudy because of how much bugs there are. And they're starting to pour in the room to Lollihops. You already start to get a couple mosquito bites here and there on you. And Toad in the chaos does notice Frog, though. It's Frog! Oh, Frog, I finally found you! Oh, it's so good to see you! And Frog, you guys give me a perception check really quick. I'm going to put Toad back up for a second. Give me a perception check, everyone, as we see what's going on with Frog. Alright, you guys aren't perceptive. Lollihops, you're too distracted. You don't like bug bites. You're starting to get those. Cadent, this is the same kind of thing for you. I will say Loxodona, you can definitely tell something's off by Frog. You can't quite place it, but something's weird is up with Frog. And then Toad notices that as well, as Frog says, "Oh, another one here to worship. Welcome, stranger." You don't have to perceive much to know that Toad is heartbroken by that comment. And, what is wrong with you? This is not Frog! No, I can tell something is wrong with you! Oh! And he keeps getting bit, keeps getting mosquitoes. And he kind of looks at the three of you, and, I did something, and he says, I did something in the temple to attract all these bugs. I would stay, but I feel like they will follow me if I stay here. So he's looking for guidance from the three of you. Should he stay or should he go now? He thinks that he's kind of cause these bugs to follow him. So do you want him to stay or do you want him to leave?
Stay.
I vote leave.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to get out of here.
Got a swarm of bugs.
We are not very good with bugs, so
Yeah, we have bad experience.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you almost died because of them once.
my small prairie dog stature can't handle it. So
Okay. So he kind of reads the room and tells that he's probably bringing in the trouble and says, I will take care of these bugs, but find out what's wrong with Frog and take care of that man. And he points to the prophet, evil-looking prophet dude, the right in the corner. And he can tell he's a bad person. And so he just kind of scoots and slams the door behind him, takes that whole swarm with him. So all that being said, Lollyhops, it's your turn. You have a pretty jade-looking statue in front of Frog. It is the statue of a frog, just so you guys know. I probably can show it. Yeah, let me show it to the players. Show to everyone. So even Twitch can see it. That is what it looks like.
fancy.
Very fancy. And it lands in front of Frog, so... There is that. And Lollyhops, you're up. What do you choose to do? You've got...
I want to go get that statue.
Okay. It
I want to
is...
go check that thing out.
You've out... Kind of... It is your turn. So, Frog is not as quick as you are on the jumps. Ha! No pun intended. So...
The hops, if you will.
Ha ha ha. So you want to go pick up the jade statue?
Yeah, I want to go check it out.
Okay, I'll let you do that for a free action. So you can pick it up. You have the jade statue that is on the screen there for everybody to do with as you wish. Do you want to inspect it real quick, or do you just want to pocket it, or what you want to do?
Do I need to do a perception check?
You will need to do. You can tell it's a magical item. I'll give you that much. But you'll need to do an Arcana check to figure out how to work it. If you just want to learn more about it, a perception or inspection will help. So,
I'm just going to try another perception here, see what we get.
you perceive that this is some sort of ancient statue from the temple. It's magical. It's inherently magical, and it seems like a pretty powerful magic. You can't quite tell anything further. You can also tell, though, that this seems to be a very coveted item by the other two frogs in the room. Frog is giving you the death stare, and the right is literally like seething from you picking that up. And he actually verbally says, "Put that down! You don't deserve that ancient relic!" So,
Swallow.
Okay. I'm going to try... Can I do an Arcana check?
you'll have to do that on another time.
But,
Yeah.
okay.
You can,
That's for me to really do then. I can't... I mean, I don't need to move anywhere. The bugs are gone.
you can move past your people there, and you still have like as your class, you can still attack again, even though you've used an action. Let me look.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm not making that up, right? It's been so long since we played.
Yeah, when he rages, he can do a bonus action.
Yes. So you are out of actions unless you rage, and then you can do a bonus action attack.
Okay, then let me rage so that I can do some attacking.
Okay.
Can I hit? Yeah, I think we can do it. Alright.
You going after Frog, or you going after the right?
I'm gonna go after Frog.
Okay.
Let's see if we can snap him out of whatever's going on.
Okay.
So, let's see what my options are. I mean, a battle will take him out. Let's see, I'm gonna use my battle axe. We're gonna go after Frog, and I'm just gonna see if we can wear down his HP a little bit, see what's going on.
Okay. That definitely hits.
Sweet. Alright, 9 slashing.
Okay, you cleave into him. Give me a perception check real quick. Flesh doesn't seem quite natural. Seems to be a little old. Like rotting.
Oh. Gross. Okay.
Bam, bam, bam! What happened to my mouse music? There we go. I gotta get my music going. Alright.
Alright, that's it for me.
Okay. It is the Wright's turn, who has said that he mutters something about you disturbing this ancient ground. And he's upset by it.
Good.
Let's see. Excuse me. I'm gonna make sure I have my notes here before I do anything. Okay. He is going to... He's just going to do some longsword attacks against Cadence. Because Cadence is the closest to him.
The figures.
So he can do 2 longsword attacks.
Alright. You definitely swing on the first one.
So he's going to do a D10 plus 2. So he does 6 damage to you. And that is his turn. And that is the right. You see, you guys watch as this right says, "You're trespassing on sacred ground." And he swings and he connects with one hit, cleaves into Cadence a little bit, and then misses on the other. And it is Frog's turn. And Frog did not like getting hurt by Lollipop, so he's going to do a
What do you mean? That was Loxodon.
slam attack against Lollihops.
Just throw a friend under the bus.
Does a 11 does an 11 hit?
Sorry. I'd be like, no.
Nice.
Wait, what do I do? I check armor for that, right?
Correct. AC.
Sweet. Yeah, that doesn't hit.
All right. He just says, "You really should have joined us for the worship," and he tries to slam you, and he just hits the wall. But he kind of does the Family Guy when the frog is stuck to the wall, though. He just kind of goes and slides down the wall a little bit. All right, Loxodon, you're up.
Alright. I am gonna...
Now keep in mind, guys, that your teammate has the jade statue.
okay.
He needs a swallow
Yes.
I'm gonna cast Haste.
Oh, okay. What is this, Final Fantasy?
And I'm gonna use 3 sorcery points to twin spell.
Ooh. Sweet life of Zach and Cody here.
Haste both of my buttons. So while you're hasted, you get +2 to your armor class to your AC, and parity saving throws. Your speed is doubled, and you can do an extra action every turn.
Nice.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Benefits of a level 5, folks.
And then we're all kind of cramped in here, so I don't think I'm gonna move or anything. I think that's probably all I'm gonna do.
All right. Cadence.
Okay, so I get an extra action, so I'm excited. Just recap. We don't know anything about this relic other than it's incredibly valuable to the frogs, correct?
Well, this is all information that Lollyhops has observed. So if he shared that with you guys, then you would know that.
I would definitely like to share that with everybody.
Okay. So
Seems
Yeah,
very
thanks for being
important.
selfish.
All right. That's
drama at the party.
Cadence after the mosquitoes.
Sorry, Cadence hasn't had much sleep lately. Cadence is being a little spicy right now.
Feel like I'm watching an episode of the Kardashians.
Seems to remember that lollipop puts the damage.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the actions to cast detect magic on the relic.
Okay.
Just figure that out there.
Detect magic. For you, sense the presence of magic. If you sense magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura. Whereas magic, learn its school of magic.
So
The
what
spell can penetrate spell barriers. Okay. So you can definitely tell it's magical. Let me try to tell you the school of magic that would be. Hey, PS Zombie, you wouldn't happen to know what a figurine of wondrous power would be, would you?
I don't know if that
let's
is.
see with
Okay.
the interweb.
You don't. Your character won't know this, but I'll go ahead and share this so that we can figure this out. Summoning. You know, it's the summoning school of summoning. I guess it's related to summoning.
So that's
It's a Pokemon conjuration. Yeah, so you know it's of the school of conjuration magic.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I have used detect magic, and we can summon something with this thing that he has not eaten yet. So just keep that in mind in case we want to call for help or something. All right, let's see. So I have thanks to my other homie, I have another bonus action. I like to go ahead and try to get some hits in because I never get to actually fight. I spend the entire campaign running and healing. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to cast Thunder Wave.
Isn't that what you did last campaign too? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
There was a lot of collateral damage. So, boom, take. Oops, sorry.
Who are you fighting?
Oh,
Okay. When is?
sorry. Yeah, it's kind of anybody that's around me.
Okay. How are you casting this cube? Because you could cast it to just hit the right, but if you cast it to hit the frog, you're gonna get Loxodona in that as well. So how are you? Because it says sweeps out from you.
Yeah, you're right.
But you could send it like in front of you towards the right and at the rest of the empty chamber if you wanted
Give
to.
me a lot of credit here. Like I got that kind of ability to. Loxana, would you be okay once again of taking collateral damage? Should I actually? Are you able to sustain that? I can
Me?
heal your wounds. Yes.
You have to do a con save.
If I take damage, there's a chance that I drop the spell haste and you would lose. Because I have to concentrate on it. Every time I take damage, I have to do a saving throw, which gives me a chance of losing.
Okay. Alright, well then the
Other
decision
than that,
is
I
clear.
but
The decision
other
is
than-
clear. I might lose the magic. I'm just kidding. Alright.
The
I guess I'll go
sauce.
ahead and, alrighty. Feeling
feel like I
froggy.
know what I
Let me
have
go
to
ahead
do.
and,
Ah, you said it. That's a Frogatone campaign.
Alright. I'm gonna take a leap at this person, the one that's directly behind. That would be behind me or ahead of me. Right?
Yeah. All right. So the right will do a con save. So we'll do that now. It's a 22.
Of course. Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, I take half. I do half damage. So roll your damage, 2d8, and I take half.
It's like the equivalent of me, like you just got like static electricity, rub a balloon across you. Let me go back to my characters. Or minimize this. You said it's 2d8, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it takes 3 damage. It's like this.
Yep, I brought
Ish.
a little mini taser with me.
A little sting.
So for me, it is a thunder wave, but for everybody else, it's like a little bug zapper.
Yeah. You power it up and then it just Thunderwave. Lollihops, you're up, buddy.
Alright. I'm going after Frog again. You're trying to slam me and missing.
He's going after you,
And I'm
Frog.
gonna-
now that you're
Jinx
hazed,
is good. You have to
with your
clear
bonus
four
action, I think you're gonna get a total of 4 attacks.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Alright, we're going after. I'm gonna hit 4 times the battle. Well, do I want to do anything with this?
Yeah, you want to
Jade,
see if you can
statue.
summon something?
Ooh.
I'm gonna lock
Ooh.
eyes with Cadence Lockhart. I'm just gonna eat it.
What?
Like, you happy now?
It's like, you're strongly advised don't do that.
What happened?
I was quite inebriated on my last turn. I've sobered up since then. I'm telling you now, do not eat that.
It was a thunder wave.
Yeah, the thunder wave
How
shot
hard
you.
is it?
Yeah, do
Harder
not
or
eat
softer than
He's kind of like the
End well for you.
he's kind of like the My Hero Academia guy with the shock. You know how he shocked and became kind of like dumb? You're vice versa. You shock and you become like reasonable. It's like the opposite.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a
Mm-hmm.
conjuring relic. I just don't imagine anything good would come out of you if should you swallow that. Nor do I know what end it would come out.
Literally and metaphorically.
Both important.
Alright, so if you want to do anything with the Jade statue, you will need to do an investigation to look at it and look at inscriptions or anything like that, or an Arcana check. Those will kind of help you go from there.
Let's try the Arcana check.
Okay. Alright, even with that kind of not moderate, not so great roll, you can tell that this is activated on a command word.
Hey guys, this is activated on some type of command word. Somebody may want to take a look. I can't. Or can I? Yeah. Alright, now.
Jade's hardness, which I assume would be its difficulty meaning. If a diamond is a 10, Jade's only a 6.
Can stomach acid dissolve it?
Only a little bit more than half as hard as a diamond.
That's fair.
Getting hungrier by the minute. Okay. Now that we have this piece of information and shared with the group, I'm gonna just go after Frog 3 times by battle axe.
Alright.
I'm glad we had this hypothetical.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
Start rolling your damage.
For all 3 of those?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay.
Look at all this damage.
You are going in on that first swing, and then you get a good wind up, and you're ready to cleave him in two. So I'm going to give you the option on this final blow. Do you want to end his life, or do you want to knock him out? I'm being gracious here because I was just going to let you do your thing, but
I think we always regret
I think
not killing them.
We're we didn't
no
That's
mercy.
my bardic inspiration.
dead. Let's I don't know. What do y'all think? Do we want to kill him?
Well, I
Or
mean,
do we just want to knock him unconscious?
Not dead.
the
Yeah, that's
cricket in
what
my
I'm worried about.
ear is telling us that you have a choice for a reason. So,
What cricket? There's no cricket on the map.
Ha. No, let's just go and knock him out.
You're going to knock him unconscious?
Knock him unconscious.
Okay.
That's what this started out doing. I got carried away.
That way we can
Tried to
bring
slam him.
his wife back at least in unconscious.
Okay. So you go and you knock him to 0.
Bronze medal.
You knock him to 0, but he's stable. So hang on 1 second. When you go to knock him at 0 with that first swing, he does a Constitution save because he is a zombie frog. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
And zombies can make a fortitude check to see if they pop back up. And the D, that was a 15. The DC is plus damage taken. Yeah, he ain't popping up. He stays down.
You stay there.
Okay, so you did that after your first swing. I will allow you, if you so choose, to put the other swings at the other guy.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
And I'm going to ceremoniously turn Frog the other way since he's incapacitated. There he's upside down. All right, so you go ahead and move your lollipops up there next to the right on the map. And if you want to do the other two attacks at the right, you can.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
All right, so only one of those attacks hits the right. So the 7 slashing damage is going to be taken off the right.
Aha.
Aha! You don't even know the power you have in that hand. That is an ancient relic. And you
Eat it.
you are not worthy of ingesting it.
I like how he tries to
Dude.
every 5 minutes. It's like,
All right, he is pissed off at you guys, and he's specifically pissed.
the rules for how big a thing you can do this.
He's
Just Google real quick.
he's gonna long sword.
Little guy.
All right,
Right,
Or
you
you-
a lot. I think I'm a no. Yeah. Shouldn't be eating this thing.
hey, lollipops, what's your AC?
Oh no. With haste,
Remember, it's
is-
plus.
Sorry, pulling the character sheet. 16.
Okay, so he tries to longsword you, and it misses. Can you give me a Constitution save? He is trying to do a life drain attack on you.
That's very rude.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
you failed it.
No.
Okay.
Life drain me, bro.
Oh, snap. Okay. So I'm gonna roll a D1, a D6, a D1, and add 2 to that.
It's one.
7. Who would have thought?
You're a rogue. That's you're stuck in a loop.
Alright, you are hit with 7 damage. And lollihops, when you're hit with this 7 damage, it is necrotic energy and it feels chilling and cold, like pits of your soul are being corroded away. And your maximum hit points is reduced by 7 in addition to you taking 7 damage.
No.
So,
Rude.
yeah, take your 7 damage off your character sheet, but then at the top where it says max HP, minus that by 7 as well. And this life drain that he does is like he hits you with misses you with a longsword that comes around and like does like a draining touch with his hand on you, and it connects.
Alright.
Zombie Frog's next. You just hear him go, "Grrr," and then he's gurgling. And Loxodana, you are up.
All right. Now, I could plan for this during other people's turn, but that's not how we play.
That's just
I am
rude.
going to use a bonus action to summon my spiritual weapon, good old Peanut.
All right, you got your token for that too.
I do. Boop. Gonna pop him up here.
He's so friendly.
The 17 hits.
17 does hit, yes.
And then he's gonna do 9 force damage. Great. Make sure I mark it off as well. I did. And then for my action, I'm gonna throw a firebolt at him.
That's-
another 17.
it's
so
gonna
that
hit.
Also hit. Whoa!
Good night.
Fired in.
Good golly.
I rolled a 10 and a 9. Wow.
He is not looking good, guys. Not looking good.
Nice.
That's it for me.
All right.
Well, I guess since I have the space now, I'll back up.
Okay. Cadence.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do best, and I'm going to sing or cast a healing word on this Shrek-like creature.
Okay.
Let's see, you have to throw that up there so you guys can see. And then my modifier is 6.
You haven't taken any damage until just then by the drain touch, right, Alex?
No other damage.
Okay. So that's not going to heal him.
I was under the impression you took damage. So he was just his overall
His-
health points have just gone down.
And he took damage. Yeah. So basically, since he was already at max, he just has a new lower max. Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood. I lost
If you want to reenact that, I'll allow it. Do you want to reenact it?
I appreciate this. I just am so tired of like just I am just utterly useless. My character I offered nothing. You know what? I did get this really cool spell when I leveled up. I thought it was a healing spell initially. It's called Hold Person.
There you go.
I'm gonna wrap around. Let me cast. I'll show you real quick, and then you are about to be paralyzed if you do not make this. So I'm using this my action on this guy. Just give you a nice hug, an air hug.
Okay. Hold person. Choose humanoid. Must wisdom save. Okay. I'm doing a wisdom save
What'd
then.
you roll?
I'm doing it now. So I am paralyzed for the duration. Okay, so I'm paralyzed till the end of my turn, basically.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to do? You have an extra action.
Oh, that's right. I do have an extra action. All right.
Well, you're paralyzed.
Where do you?
Oh, and then
where
it
did you
just-
see the time? Oh yeah.
Because it
concentration.
says,
Hey, I got you.
but he can try to break it.
All right. Well, there's not much else I really can do at this time without using up a spell slot, and nobody really needs healing. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use a. Let's see, I can't. You didn't actually swallow the relic thing, did you?
No, exactly.
He's only threatened to.
But you got.
I will continue. to
I'll do it. I'll do it. You guys can tell though that it's a summoning object activated on a word. So if you want to try to figure that word out, you can. You're close enough to Lollihops if you want to look and see if you do some Arcana check or something like that, inspection, investigation.
Yeah, I was saying, would you guys like me to try to summon or try to activate this thing? I feel like we got this cool
Yeah, if you
tool
want.
that can
Yeah,
easily
for
help
sure.
us, and our guy's paralyzed right now, at least for the short time being. So, do I give you? I want to try to figure out. I already know it's a magical item, so I'd like to try to see if I can use it to conjure something. So, what kind of thing would you need me to do?
Arcana check if you want to specifically know the word. Or in.
I want to know the word to.
Okay.
I want to know the word to activate this thing.
Arcana check. You got it. Okay, so you learned the word. Which I'm just going to type because I cannot say this.
Okay.
Wuggy?
It could.
W-U-G apostrophe G-I. Woogie.
Woogie.
Okay. So you...
He is silent, right?
Woogie.
Woogie.
That is the bigoted god Woogie that the Bullywogs used to worship. So that is the word. So if you want to activate it, you say it. Are you saying it in character?
Woogie.
Scandalous head! Okay. Hey, Woogie! Okay. Upon activation of the word, Lollihops, you instantly notice that the statue that you're holding starts to activate and react. It starts to tremble. It starts to expand rapidly. You're not able to hold on to it. You drop it. It grows into a... Let me pull up. I dropped my thing. It pulls into a giant creature, and I will plop the creature here on the map. It is a Bruno cask-headed frog. I will put that in.
1 second.
It's Bruno and then Casque, casque-headed frog. Look this up, people. PSA: these frogs are terrifying. They have the ability to headbutt. They have this like poisonous spines on their head, and they headbutt things and kill it. It's insane. These frogs are crazy. So that is what it grows into, a large version of that. And I will show to the players his stats. It is
Should have eaten this thing.
It has a sting, which is the headbutt for poison damage, and it also has a claw attack. It can do a multi attack. It's based loosely off of Scorpion stats, but that's kind of what you're working with.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no, Scorpion from D&D, 5th edition. Yeah, it's a giant scorpion stats, basically. Yeah, get over here. So I will add him
Okay.
to the.
Cool.
I'm gonna add him to the Well, if I'm going to add him to the initiative counter. And since he was activated after on Cadence's turn, I'm just going to give him a initiative of 10 as well. Okay. So, let me go through the initiative again. Do you do anything else on your turn, Cadence?
Alright, real quick, so this thing is,
You need to take it off the... There you go, Twitch.
sorry,
You can look at that evil frog.
just, so, I summon this thing, is it rogue? Like, does it kind of do its own thing?
Since you summoned it, I will clarify what the kind of item was. A figurine of wondrous power is a statue of a beast small enough to fit in your pocket. If you use the action to speak the command word and throw the figurine at a point on the ground, it becomes a living creature. If the space where the creature would appear is occupied, the creature is friendly to you and your companions. It understands languages and obeys your spoken commands. If you issue no commands, the creature will defend itself but take no actions. The creature exists for the duration specific to the figurine, which is 12 hours for this guy. And at the end of the duration, the creature returns to its figurine form. It also reverts to its form if it drops to 0 hit points, or if you speak the command word again while touching it. So that's what you're working with.
Okay. Alright, well, I don't think I can really do anything else other than, so it will obey a command if I
Yeah.
know it's not its turn.
So what I'll do is when it gets to its turn, I'll have you tell me what to do with it, or you can use its sheet to do whatever. So.
Alright, well, I can't really do much else. I guess just for fun, I can because this cantrip does nothing else. I'm gonna use Mage Hand to summon a hand, and I'm gonna pet it. I
Okay.
think that's what it would want.
You start to pet it, but it does have those poisonous stingers, and so your mage hand, like, it gets pricked, and then the hand just kind of dissipates and gets infected and goes psst.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It seemed to appreciate the gesture, but then it was like, hey, I'm also poisonous, so watch out.
It's a worthless pet.
It's literally like putting on a leash on a lion. It's like, this is a majestic beast and you want to like domesticate it. That's what it was. And it was just like, come on, man.
No, I was giving you guys a little slap on the chin or something. Whatever. Alright, I think that's it for me. I think I've done a good thing here.
All right.
I'll end my turn.
Which your the right dude, the prophet guy, is still paralyzed, but he's staring at this in awe and in fear at the same time. So the frog kind of leaps forward. Is there anything else you want to do with it? You wanted to do its attacks? You have rights.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I didn't realize right away that it was its turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I would love for it to do its little stinger attack thing that's got yeah, I'd like to do its sting attack.
So it gets 2 attacks with its claws and 1 with its sting.
Wait, all in one thing, or
Yep.
different?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I want this thing to go full fury mode. Just combo. So I'd like to use the claw action actually first. Do I need to roll anything?
I'm trying to see if I can get it to. Okay. This is Okay. So, you notice something when you start to try to command the frog. His stomach growls like a lot. Like it's like a grrr, and it's very loud, reverberating. The beast is hungry. So, it is going to need to take a wisdom save to not try to eat the target it's going after because it's so hungry. So that's his first thing. If it fails, it failed it. So one of the attacks has to be a bite attack. It's called Awoken Hunger. He woke up very, very hungry, and while you're trying to command it and be like, do your attacks, do your whatever, it's overcome with its need to eat, and it tries to just go straight in for a bite attack against the right.
My wishes.
Yeah, against your wishes.
Charizard is what I just summoned here.
Basically.
Whatever it wants to do.
Well, it's hungry.
Bruno, no.
Bad Bruno.
Wall, not eat. Bad.
You have to go fight Magma.
Okay.
So it does 16, which is a damage.
Which would be, I don't see bite.
6. It does 6 damage. And the creature is grappled. It's going to do another... Now it's kind of looking at you. Basically, I said claw attack, but I meant bite. It's got bite attack and sting. So it does 2 bites attacks and 1 sting for its turns. So you can command it if you want to do another bite attack and then a sting attack if you'd like. But you can tell the right is like close to death's door. He is so beaten up and bloody.
Good.
Good. He deserves it for putting us through this. Alright. Bruno, go ahead and hit him with that sting.
I call it the kiss of death. The kiss of death. It target must make a DC Constitution saving throw. Well, but it fails because the AC is higher than the 5, so it can't. It does not hit with its kiss of death. You've got 1 more bite attack if you choose to use it.
Yeah. Bruno. Bite. Eat. You got this.
He's not able to chew it. It's like hanging out of his mouth like a noodle. He can't get up.
The hardest peanut ever.
Yeah.
The hard nut to crack.
Yeah. You said it. All right. Lollihops. You see right dangling out of the mouth, at the side of the mouth of this giant frog beast that just appeared in front of you.
Fantastic. This isn't alarming.
And he's paralyzed. So he's just like,
So wait, the right paralyzed?
yep, because you guys.
Oh,
I gave him
that's right.
like just the
Fantastic.
little prairie dog arm just like wrapped it and then like it grabbed its ankle and paralyzed it.
Beautiful. Alright,
Magic
perfect. So, now it's been magically paralyzed. I'm going to continue to hack away at this thing. It's just not its day.
That was
All right.
so hard. Just
Right, so just can't do anything. And then take him down. So, I think that's still 4 actions, right?
Yeah, you can just light it up if you want.
We're doing it. We're taking this thing down.
All right. Whoa. All right. 2 of them hit. The last 2. All right. How do you want to finish this thing, Alex?
Oh man.
You see a paralyzed prophet frog hanging out of the mouth of a giant frog, and you're going in to give it the killing blow. How do you finish it off?
I'm gonna look at it, and as I go in for that final blow, I'm gonna yell, "That jade frog looks delicious," and I'm just gonna take him down.
Nice. You take him down. All right. So you guys deliver the final blow. I'm going to change the music. to just temple music. Alright, once you do that, the blade of your axe goes straight into the frog, and you can feel the life of this frog ending. And it lets out, as its final breath, though, a loud croak. Its last croak. And it croaks. And he vibrates the chamber,
As it crooks.
not just the chamber, the whole temple, with a loud, eerie croak. And it like bounces off the walls in the chamber you're in, and you can hear it echoing and echoing and echoing all through the various chambers of the temple that you're in. And then it stops and it drops lifeless. Bruno just lets it go, and it drops onto the ground in front of you, and you guys are out of combat. In front of you, you have a deceased prophet frog that's been hacked up and partially eaten. Behind you, towards the door near Loxodana, you have an incapacitated, possibly zombified frog. And in front of you, you have a altar. There was an altar to this chamber. It's to the north. You see a little square on the map, sort of near where the front of the chamber goes into kind of a octagon look. That wall has a little altar there. And then you just hear you hear off in the distance, "The bug stopped!" from Toad. And he's running, and you can hear him pitter-pattering to y'all's location. He'll be here in a little bit.
Well, since I'm the biggest, I will pick up Frog's body, I suppose.
All right. It's rotting, and it's been dead for some time.
I still kind of want to bring it back to his place.
Okay.
Carry him.
All right.
That's what she wants to see. She wants to see this rotting body.
Right. Hey,
Well, maybe she wants, maybe she
Word of
wants to
mouth,
bury
not
him.
good
I don't know. I wonder.
Get to smell your husband one more time.
oh,
It's gross.
Oh yeah.
Just bring her
Well,
frog
turns
leg
out
back.
I could have picked Revivify as my third full spell, but I didn't.
He's
So, here we
you
are with the dead frog.
you. He's been dead for some time. Revivify wouldn't have worked. Yeah.
Well, I do have a spell that's called Fairy Fire, and it literally just turns it into a glow stick. I mean, at least we can beautify the thing.
that's nice.
Yeah.
It's very Lord of the
It's
Rings
great
for you.
Cave fighting with. It's great for cave fighting with like minimal if you're trying to hide, but we can just bring back a shiny.
Yeah, as part of my
rotting.
as part of my explorers pack, I have a bedroll, so I'm just gonna kind of put him inside it like it's a sleeping bag. Just tie him in.
Just Chipotle burrito him. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's gotten so dark. All right.
I just like flip him over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh boy, my first destination.
Stuffing a body.
Give me a perception check, Loxodana, when you flip him over your body.
Perceive. There's too many P letter abilities.
There's a lot of P's in the character sheet. When you do that, you notice something slips out of his pocket and onto the ground into the mud.
Oh. I shall.
It is a mostly intact journal that's been worn down. Some of the pages are missing. Upon you picking up his body and finding this, you hear Toad come in going, oh no. What's happened to Frog? Oh, Frog! And a distraught Toad comes in and just like in shock plants on his knees and just mouth agape and staring, not believing that he's staring at his dead friend being carried by you, Loxodana. And he just sits there for a minute and stares, and then he sort of starts looking out the room and just tries to muster up the words to explain or ask questions, and all that comes out is, "What happened?" And just stares at you, Loxodana.
I say, well, let's find out together. And I look at his journal. See if there's any answers to how he got this way.
He kind of, he upon hearing that there's a journal and that you have it and he sees it in your hand, he will rush and grab it from your hand. Do you allow him to snatch it?
Sure.
Okay, so he picks it up and he's like, "Oh, Frog, what did you get yourself into?" "Oh, it says here. Yes, it says here you were going on a mission to find this temple. Oh. You knew you were gonna die." He's like flipping through. Nani? He's kind of flipping through the pages and he's decoding, and you get bits and pieces of what happened to Frog through Toad kind of murmuring as he's progressing through the story. And Toad says, "You knew you were going to die. Oh, Toad, I'm gonna miss you. You were my friend. Wait. Look here." And Toad turns the pages to you and shows you, Loxodana, you being the closest. The Lollihops and Cadence are still over there with Giant Frog Bruno, trying to figure out Bruno. But you don't want to talk about Bruno. So you guys are... Anyway, Loxodana, you see that there's kind of good manuscripts. Like, you can tell Frog wrote down kind of in detail all the stuff about the temple and his journey into the temple and his finds. But then it gets very bad writing, like incomplete sentences. The kind of script is very, very bad, and it seems to be like bits and pieces of just like repeated words. And you can see that that somebody else was writing in this journal after Frog did. The pages are sort of partially ripped, and there's drops of blood on them, and it's just very weird. And Toad goes, "He tried to use this after he died. Yes, it's all here. The right had control of him, but he was still able to sneak around as a zombie. Oh, Frog, I worry for you, but you've set up some sort of plan. It seems you have figured out this temple. Even in death, you are very smart, smarter than me." And he starts to piece together with you, Loxodana, that there were runes that were placed by Zombie Frog on this temple so that Zombie Frog could keep a piece of himself tied to the temple. And Frog asks Toad politely, after kind of mourning and then coming to kind of grasp the fact that Frog isn't really truly all the way dead. A piece of him still exists tied to this place. He asks to keep the journal and that he's going to stay back no matter what you guys do and see if he can commune with Frog in this place. So he's kind of looking for your approval.
Yeah, we can give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, so he sort of takes the journal and kind of wanders off, and you hear him as he kind of goes out of view into the other chambers and other rooms. "Frog and Toad, friends forever," and he holds the journal to him and kind of wanders off into the darkness of the caves of the temple. Okay, so that's that. You've got a giant frog in the middle of the room. just going ribbit and like trying to move around, but like knocking walls and stuff off shelves. Like it's like very misplaced. He's just kind of like frantically looking around with his eyes. What do you guys choose to do?
I guess we could look around, try to help him find something to commute.
That's what I'm thinking. Something to help him out.
You try to seek him out. He seems like he doesn't want to be disturbed. He essentially says to you guys that this is going to be a while. He has to figure it out. There's some complex spells and stuff involved, and he says to not really wait up on him. This is going to take several days and possibly weeks to figure out. So he's not wanting you to kind of hang out.
Well,
It's a little suspicious.
A little sus.
Just saying.
does he want to keep
Yeah.
the body?
He's not really, doesn't seem attached to the body at all. He's more focused on the runes and kind of magic of the temple.
Well, we can go tell his widow that he's dead, but he might be coming back.
Okay.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Is this some kind of joke?
He's sad, but not that sad.
Should we at least bring her a leg then?
A rock leg, something to snack on.
Tastes like chicken.
Let's see.
So you guys are choosing to leave the temple.
I mean, I reckon if he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Okay? So you guys go out to the outside.
There's more mosquitoes.
Ah!
I mean, I just kind of want to question and be like, so. I just feel like it is sus. He wouldn't want us there.
We can question.
You're well.
Yeah. I just
Okay.
feel like we did a lot while he did nothing, and I would like to know why he's asking us to leave. Like, how would we be in the way?
He's right here.
Why would us being why would us being here be a problem for him? I'd like to pat him down.
Okay. You frisk him. All his pockets.
To see if there's like the detect magic
Do a little
30
quick
feet
shot
of
back.
me to see if there's something around here that's fishy.
He has nothing on him that's magical. He has the book that's not magical. It's just a journal. You can sense a little weird presence among the temple, but it's kind of like dark magic. You can sense a little bit of possibly runes or some kind of like spiritual element to this place that's not as dark of an essence, if that makes sense. But that's really all you're getting from your ping of a detect magic.
Is Bruno still running around?
Yeah, Bruno's just kind of following you through the temple on the way out, just like going, trying to eat stuff. He's like gnawing on pieces of the temple.
Ability to find whatever it is, Toes, or what he's looking for. Bruno, can you sniff out this special relic thingy that Frog might have? Find the shiny stone.
He just kind of like, he leans down to you, and you're a prairie dog, so he like leans way down. You just have this like heavy labor breathing on you of this giant beast. And then that's all that you get out of Bruno.
It's you. It's so you.
Summon it back, like just like.
Well, if you remember from the description, you just say Wagyu and he'll.
Wagyu, what was it?
Yeah. WUGGI. Wagyu. Wagyu? Wagyu?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get.
You Wagyu him?
Yeah, Wagyu.
And he's
Alright, I think I've got all the answers I want, which was nothing. Leave, you guys want to leave.
Well,
all right. You guys get back up. Seeing that there is a boat still there for you guys tied to the. Ooh, somebody else is there with the boat. I'm just going to. I don't think I have a token for this particular person. Is that what this is? What is this?
We teleported.
Frog Wife is there. So, Frog Wife.
Looks like the Geico Gecko in Drive.
Frog, so he could clearly get Frog's wife. Like, this is a classic Pearl
They were
Harbor situation.
Movies don't definitely.
Yeah. Up.
Yeah, there was definitely an affair here.
it's suspicious to everybody.
Move back to the. Oh, I didn't move you back to that. Okay, hang on. But it was hard to see her token. So, anyway, she's there, and then as upon you guys coming out, and she looks like a exactly Geico would. Yeah, she's looking like a snack.
Looking like a dime piece.
Looking like a.
Like,
She sits in the boat and she begins to speak, but to your surprise, and you guys see that you're looking at and that you saw earlier, all dressed up in drag, starts to fade away. Skin, long hair that is old and patchy, no glasses, no nothing, just a witch's hat at the top of this bag is actually what's there. I see you did exactly what I wanted you to. Thank you for allowing. As a reward, you can continue to use this boat. And she lightly taps the boat. Treasures that you found in the temple. I should warn. And the swamp can be very dangerous. Days of trudging through the dangerous swamps. Safe passage. So what do you say?
So, I'm assuming she wants the relic.
That relic for starters,
You disgusting hag.
and any other gold or treasure. She
Leave that
wags
to
her
get
friend.
paid in the depot.
that's, you know,
And Bruno.
Or price.
Or priceless, yeah.
Depending on how you
I can't feel like we had a tough battle, but I don't want to just give up the relic. I want to ask her, like, why does she want the...
Yeah, what are your goals here?
Yeah.
The Bullywogs used to control this area of the swamp, and they were very active in that arts. They worshipped their god Wagyu. Years to try to find this area. I want the powers that exist within her walls. You see, the frog folk had a high priestess that kingdom, and so the priest and the king vied for control, and to mysterious rather than submit to the priest's megalomaniacal rule. Is that how you say it? Megalomaniac. King, leery of suffering his father's fate, entombed the temple, and then the spurned priest, left to rule over this temple alone, eventually saw his resentment transform him into a hateful undead bullywog. Power that he would control, and the priest himself. Tell prophet-like folk in that temple.
We killed him.
Very much would like to see this myself. But if you... It seems like you need to be with... I used that frog fellow. Goes. And that is it. Not.
You're like, oh, jeez, no, stop. I said, we owe this lady nothing.
Okay.
And we have Bruno. See, so I think we should some gobble her up.
Okay, so you're refusing the deal, or are you good? Accepting the deal. That's all. Those are the 3 tracks I have as hooks. All right.
Yeah, give her nothing. No deal.
She instantly
No deal.
turns invisible, and the boat starts leaving away, leaving you on the temple. And then a swarm of quivers are summoned from the stream.
Dang it. Didn't know this was happening.
I really didn't see this coming.
You can have Bruno.
You're gonna have to bring the boat back.
Are you calling? Are you, no joke, calling after her or no? Is that canon? I must know. It is canon. All right, you.
I don't know.
No, okay.
She's getting nothing.
All right, the boat disappears. It is late. We have people. We have people in different time zones. So I'm gonna ask that the 3 characters that are playing this game roll a d20 each. So PS Zombie, I need you to roll a d20. Alex, I need you to roll a d20. And Lollihops, I need you to do... Or sorry, Risky Biscuit, I need you to roll a d20.
D.
Okay, 13, 3, and 15. Okay, so I'm going to take the average of these rolls. Doing math.
It's 31, which would be 110 and 130.
So we'll say 10. So I'm going to roll my own d20, contested, to see how you fare against the quivers. You don't fare well.
That sounds like based off past experience.
What to do here? Because the dice have chosen. Okay, I will say that meets it, beats it on the roll off. So, the camera kind of pans out as you guys are like, ah, quivers, ah. And the credits start to roll a little bit, and you see Loxodana take the first blow. She goes down. You see Lollihop start to go down, but he gets in several hits on the quivers and then gets down. And then you see Cadence fighting as all the credits start rolling up. And then you see the screen goes to dark, and much like a Marvel movie, you get your after credits scene. And you see just a very deep swamp. You see very thick woods, but you also see the edge of these woods, and you hear just a huffing and a puffing off screen. And coming up the hill is a weary Cadence with a unconscious Lollihops and Loxodana being pulled in tow. As the camera pans to the side and sees the village offwards, and you barely escape with your two incapacitated friends. And you remember and you think that maybe this may have not gone your way, but at least all three of you, conscious and unconscious, know that you did your best to reunite friends together at last.
We should.
Fail failure.
Da, da, da.
Okay,
You got a friend in me.
Bugs.
And then the after credits stuff goes, and then the lights of the theater come up, and you hear, you got a friend in me. And that's played as you leave the...
hear the battle
Oh, yeah. Because it was that hard.
jumping across the
It was some good riffs on some Battletoad sound music.
Man, that was difficult.
It was a tricky one.
Brutal.
Yeah, I specifically you had like 3 options you could have done, which was accept her deal. There was rolls if you wanted to like bargain and haggle with her. If you refused the deal, you saw what happened there. And then you could go and hide in the temple. That was another option. You could retreat.
Run away.
Yeah. So,
Never retreat.
never surrender.
Just flip her off.
Carrying us out.
With finding out what happened to Frog and then like dying, basically.
That's right. Well, guys, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Risky Biscuit. Thank you, PS Zombie, for playing. Thank you particularly for playing tonight with our adjusted hours. I appreciate all of y'all. That was fun. This concludes Frog and Toad. I feel like we started this a long time ago, so it is very good to get that final chapter in the books and slam shut like that door. So we're kind of trying to figure out now where we go with our next Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. The Unbeaten Path, we're taking a little bit of a sabbatical on for PS Zombie till he gets back in his rhythm, and then I've got the Dungeons and Dragons project I'm trying to plan on the side as well. So we're gonna pause on some of that for a little bit, and then you'll see us do some more gameplay in the coming weeks as we kind of go through summer. With some hopes to get some more campaigns started in a couple months or so. So that's kind of where we are, being transparent with what we're planning over here in the Putu studio and with the Putu crew. But that's it. I appreciate any clicks or views after the fact. This is very fun, and I'm glad we got the crew together tonight. Thank you, guys.
Cool beans.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, this is PU to ASU signing off.